I don't know, there's no real right or wrong answer. It's going to take a lot of it's going to take a lot of effort and time. You know what I mean? But I think if people work together instead of working in like similar organisations and probably bring something together like in one unit, then things will be a lot more better. I don't know. There's no one decision. I don't know.
No, thank you, Neville. So, understanding young people's experiences and rather than organisations working on their own, sort of working together as more one thing in one community.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
For me, I'd say more dialogue. We just need to talk, definitely. I think a lot of people don't really want to talk about trauma because of how it makes you look. Like you're not tough no more. Where like Gavin said, we've been through it, but on the other side now, it's just not worth it. I swear down, you go through all this stuff and you think that you're growing as an individual or you've got status in your community, but it's not about that because on the other side, when all the friends went, when the birds fly the coop or whatever, when they just go, it's just you, and the reality kicks in and you realise that you're doing a big sentence or, you've got nothing, you've been working on the streets for so long, you just realise it equates to nothing, but it takes stories and documentary like this for people to hear from authenticated individuals that have been there, that have rolled that, and it's people that we can say genuinely, it was on the streets, we know them, and that's who I say should be the role models. There's no point chasing some guy on social media who you don't know, lives in America, every picture he posts, looks like he's winning. Let's have the real people who we can see every single day and talk to them on a level. You got Leon there doing his scooter business. That's entrepreneur. He's doing his business now. He gets his own trade. It's things like this that we need to give them support on. Same with Richie, I don't know where he's gone. Richie's Barbers. He's been here for the longest time. Again, it's just talking. His little shop there, when people come in to get a haircut, he helps them through their day. Whether it's a negative one or a positive one, he helps them. And that's what this community needs, more talkers, more people who are prepared, as Neville said, to work together. Do you know what I mean? Instead of youth groups starting little fires or rain little fires, let's just do one big bonfire and burn the whole place down with knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
But I knew this question was coming up, and to answer that question in 2 minutes is a lot. So for me, violence is actually a response to poverty, lack of opportunity, frustration, anger, and ultimately the trauma that we all experience. And I could go into a technical thing, but I know I've not got time. But a lot of the young people we've got now have witnessed high visibility violence, and so they're living with the same trauma that we live with. And they it's not fight, flight, it's not just fight, flight and freeze, you've got fight, flight, freeze, annihilate. So a lot of these kids that have witnessed murder, if someone comes at them, they straight away know it's me or them. Most of the times when a young person's got stabbed recently, the kid doesn't even know they've done it a lot of the time, they just see red, and that's it, and that's a trauma response. So we need to deal with that. That kind of creates a nothing to lose kind of attitude. Get on to my notes, sorry. I got tired of feeling my trauma, and so I started studying it, and we came up with that perpetual traumatic stress disorder because it is perpetual. There's new layers of devastation all the time, and there's literally nothing in place. It's not acknowledged by current services. It's kind of like I said in the film, it's become seen as a culture in our side, so people from outside our community, we need to educate them so things can be implemented, funding can be put in, they can start acknowledging that this is a real thing, and we can start hearing from it. We need rehumanizing, we need more of this sort of stuff, we need people outside of us to get it. So it's like they've spent the past 40 years dehumanizing us through the media and just making us look like we're all the criminals, we're not victims in any way. And we just need to be rehumanized as a community, and this is a brilliant start to that level. Well done, guys.
Thank you so much, guys. I felt like you've really covered the board then around conversation, rehumanising people, about supporting people in their traumas and actually having conversations with with young people and understanding their perspectives. So thank you so much. I want to actually open it up now to everybody here as well. I want to hear about what your thoughts were about the film and any comments or questions that you might have after all of this.
Well,
to myself or Neville or to any of the filmmakers.
Well, my question, first question would be basically, do you believe, even though the circumstances was what it was in the community and the poverty and all that and the lack of jobs, do you believe that a lot of it was down to choices? Like people could have still make different choices rather than, you know what I mean? Because I don't know. Everyone is individual, isn't it?
Yeah,
like
everyone's got choices, isn't it? Really, you know what I mean. But it's like sometimes you get put in a position, in it, where you don't know when you're a young person and that, and you don't know who to turn to. You can't turn to your grandparents because you don't want to upset them, or you've not got no brothers or sisters.
Yeah.
You know, your grandparents don't understand what you're going through. Your grandparents, they just came here to work and do better for us and go back and just go home in it. Well, at the end of the day, they didn't know what was going on the streets, innit? When we're saying we're going out to play, like we're going out to really play. We don't know, do all kinds of things. You get me?
So it's a lack of really role models, really.
Yeah, I think there needs to be a lot more role models, and like I say, it takes a community to raise a person. Really, it's not just one person, innit?
True.
It takes everybody to raise that person, innit? If your child's doing wrong, and someone comes and tells you your child's doing wrong, then you've got to take it by ear and go and find out what's really happening, innit? Do you know what I mean? So.
But then saying that, I believe a lot of parents should be coming more together, especially the fathers, to try and be inside their kids' life to make it, you know what I mean, a bit more.
So you can do, but if you've been an absolute father for years and you've been in jail or you've not been doing your thing, then you can't come and tell the kid, yo, this and that. It's going to tell you about yourself, you know what I mean? So it's not really. It's not one of them things. You can't. If you've not been in your kid's life, you can't take you someone, innit? Really, you can't. You're not going to tell. You're not going to listen to them. I mean, hopefully, I've been in my son's life. I've not been in jail. I've been in his life consistently for the last few years. You know what I mean? He's at an age now where he knows that whether someone else tells him something different, like he knows that his dad was there, or his dad took him to school, or his dad tried to get him this, even though if you don't get it in this week, I'll get it the week after, or whatever else, you know what I mean? So, you've got to be involved. You can't tell your kids nothing on the road if you've not been involved in their lives.
Well, I've just been living there for 20 years, me, so I'm from Jamaica, really. So I can't say I've seen everything, but my issue, what I've got with the kids, or the younger ones these days, is the fact that the association are not acknowledging the danger of the being associated. So for example, in gangs. So for example, you walking down the road as a friend, 3 people, one got into a beef with the next person, then that person hurt the next person, then all 3 of you now become responsible for the crime.
Well, that's another thing that, like, with me and my friends, if we're out and we're gonna something happening and it's gonna stop, like I don't want to be with a friend that I can't say to you, yo, show, I can't do it here or whatever. That's if you can't tell your friend to show he's not out there, he's just gonna go out and do whatever. You better be putting some try to enterprise them. I'm not gonna be around that person, but most of the time when we're involved in something like or something sticky come along, like I would say to my friend, you know, allow it, not here. And listen to you and you get what I mean. Then I become a man that I had around them.
Joint enterprise. I mean, like, there's so many things that we traumatize in the community, and I think I hear what you're saying, like about choice, but when you're in that moment, I don't always think like you feel as though you've got choice. Looking back as an older person, but at that point, you've not always got that choice, and I think, especially now, we present this world through social media and that to young people that's not accessible to them. Like, peaceful communities don't have more police.
True.
Peaceful communities have more resources. And the only difference between, say, Moss Side and Alderley Edge is that they've got more resources. There's equal, if not more, higher levels of crime up there, but it's white middle class, so it's not acknowledged, it's not demonized, it's not over-criminalized. Like, we all know that blackness can be seen as a crime anyway, you don't have to do anything. So that blocks you people now from accessing certain opportunities.
Yeah.
So if they're trying to act like, why can't they have that car? Why can't they have those clothes? You know what I mean? Why can't they have that job? Why can't they have their holidays in the house? Why can't they do that? I mean, we see it now in my side, like, I'm trying to rent somewhere for my mum right now. I've had to go and rent in Didsbury for her because it's cheaper than renting in my side. So what's the plan? What is the plan for us, you know? So I don't always think they have got choices, but we get that double whammy of trauma from outside through the justice system and stuff like this. Only my side that gets, say, joint enterprise trials consistently, whether you like, what created why I started setting my organisation was, it was a joint enterprise case where 13 men were arrested, all charged with murder of one young man who'd been stabbed by one person in his neck. But all 13 got charged. Like, I knew 8 of these young men, I knew they were gang, they had no criminal record. I literally resigned from my paid job then so I could attend court with these kids because my boss said we couldn't upset the police or the council, but I don't work for them, I work for the kids in the community.
Yeah.
So I resigned from that work through that trial. Coming up to the end of that trial, I was like, right, I've got to find a way for these moms to kind of deal with this trauma because these kids go to prison for a long time. And on that same night, 2 cars came from another area, kids jumped out of them, chased all the kids that were basically out grieving because their friends weren't going to be around for a long time. Chased them, stabbed 4 of them, severe force, 28 stab wounds. 1 died, and so I realised that our trauma that day for me, the 8th of August, 8th was like the most trauma I've experienced in 1 day. And that got me thinking about like how I, as a community worker, youth worker, can start to look at this. I've had to unravel my own trauma to get to where I am because nobody's ever done that. I've tried to see a counsellor 3 times during that trial, and they were all like, "This is too big. I don't know what to say to you. This is too much stuff." And I'm like, I can't send a kid to a counsellor.
Sorry to interrupt there, Kemi, but on that topic of, no, I think it's really important and I don't want to lose what you're saying there. On that topic of community trauma, does anybody else want to add in now any questions or comments around community trauma? Because I do think I can see a hand up there, and I know you had a hand earlier as well. I just want to make sure everybody's getting their voices heard. Extra mics. Push it up if it's not.
Yes, trauma is always there. Trauma is always been there. Society is always going on. Nobody knows what to deal with the solving of the trauma in our community. So, what is Lance and people have just done today is excellent. The redemption of unity, true honesty, truth. If you speak in truth now, in the future, the truth is going to be the truth. Doesn't matter how far you go to the future, the truth is going to be the truth because history says so. So we've got an opportunity now. Metro, I feel for those individuals who lost that relationship with their children. It's really, really big, massive trauma because the children grows as an individual and you can't go talk to that child like you want to talk to that child as a father, really, you know, that lot of that's going on. But the moment you start, the cap who put it out to his children, the brother who's on the school, Leon, brilliant. You see what you've just done there? For the child to walk up and see what you're trying to do. What you're trying to do is let the youngsters know we've been through it. Lynching is on them over in America. We've been through it, the trauma, we've been through it. What we're doing. Sign notice and our story. Peace. People ending all conflict everywhere. And as we start to go and do that, what we do, we've been doing it. But when it comes together as a collective, those ones who are telling the truth at the end of the day, it's going to stand up in the future. Trauma is going to be eradicated because we're going to see it for what it is. Don't listen to the outside forces, listen to the inner mechanisms from each individual. Those ones who have been through that trauma, come and cleanse that trauma. Those ones who have lost their lives on this journey right now, listen. That's the journey that could be any one of you. He's made it to this stage. They got robbed from that because of the trauma we have to go through. The truth is out there. We're going to find it. It's coming to get back on this 20 years, 1999, I came back on this place. And I see it for what it is. It's not just us, it's not our trauma. One more thing, just to show you how trauma is. Somebody put into the community, a young man goes into a place and he gives the children knives, gives them acid to play with. The children splash acid and stab each other. They blame the children. They don't look at the individuals, the people who are supposed to be guarding this shit. You know, we are supposed to be that. So when we grow to go and guard our own your children will stop suffering from trauma and they'll stop killing themselves. You can't blame the children. It takes the village to raise this child. You know, so trauma is all of us doing our work as a collective. That's the only thing we can do.
I'm just going to second what was said about community collaboration coming together. There's way too many small parts that are all doing different things and targeting different groups. The more we come together and start working together as a community collaboration, the better things will be. More people will take notice of what's happening because of the fact that these people are connected and working together. And they'll start paying more attention to it. And I also think that the fact of us opening up about our vulnerabilities, the things that we have been through, it provides a space for other people that are going through that trauma to open up about their vulnerabilities. It's not a thing where they have to keep it to themselves, because as a community, as a culture, we have been brought up to keep what happens indoors, keep access to ourselves, don't chat it to everybody. When we keep keeping it to ourselves, it just keeps on going, that mountain underneath the rug just gets bigger, and we watch our grandchildren tripping over it, knowing that we could have taken some of that away, or how to take some of that away. My belief is that each generation goes through some things that the next generation doesn't have to do. So we're supposed to be able to pave over some of those puddles, those potholes that were there for us, so that our children don't have to face that. Yeah, and I'm just really, really proud of yourself as well. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you. We're proud of Naomi as well, and she's got a book out.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Owen Mugao. Those that don't know, I'm sure there's a lot of people that don't know. Now, first of all, I'd like to say, well done. On putting together the film. Well done for speaking your stories and, speaking truthfully about yourselves. Couple of things. First of all, the audio. Maybe it's because I've done my who's into production, so she always points these things out. You probably need subtitles at the bottom, because my good friend here kept asking me to translate what's being said. But no, it's probably subtitles, isn't it? Yeah. But otherwise, brilliant. And I think it was getting to it towards the end. I mean, a lot of my work is around prevention. And you were getting to that towards the end as to, the future, what you do next. And I think that's really important, that there is a continuum, from this film, whether it's another film, what you do next, or whether you actually do some real practical work, like actually going into schools or youth, community groups, and actually engaging with the young selves, because the next generation down is your younger selves, because as we all know, there are young people out there that are thinking exactly how you were thinking.
Yeah.
However many years ago, they're thinking that right now. So it's about, I think the next step will probably be doing some practical engagement work. You may already have that on the books, I don't know. And then one other thing I wanted to ask was, because it was mentioned a few times on the video, you mentioned the term old school. So it's like, what does old school mean?
I think that was your generation and those above. From 1984.
Okay, well, however you're terming old school, whatever you're terming it to mean, my next thing from that is, are you saying old school is dead, old school is out, old school is not what we're going to follow? Is there therefore a new school that of thought that we're following? If there is a new school, what is the new school?
I don't know about the new school, I'm old school, like I said to the old school values, like that's how the rules of the game, and like put it aside, like things have changed, like the whole gun issue is like, it's like spaghetti, it's just like, it's different angles, it's like gangs that used to be enemies that are linking up with areas that used to be linked to other gangs that, there's people's parents that were gang members that now their sons are being done. It's just a mess. It's it's so much politics, it's just a joke, innit? And it's saturated with a lot more, it's saturated with a lot more, I don't know, there's a lot of rats in it, that's just, I can't say that away. Yeah. The game's changed, innit? The game's changed for what I mean.
And I think, I was going to say that's okay, it's not that I don't mean it's okay. Going back to what Naomi said, when we talk about a village raising a child, if old school with your answer that you just given me is okay and that's what you want to go back to, then that's what we need to promote. That there's nothing wrong with old school, and old school is this, and we should all be living that way.
Old school, in my days, like, there was rules and there was lines and there was, you read the line, when you cross the line, there's none of that no more, you know what I mean? It gets put back or it gets rubbed out, I don't know. You know what I mean? Before the rules.
And then, sorry to come back at you again, because I heard somebody else say on the respect, there was rules, there was lines, there was borders that we didn't cross. So then the question would be, from me to you, would be, we have to answer it. When did you guys cross that line? When did you guys lose, and I'm not saying that, that respect in inverted commas, what happened? And it's a rhetorical question, I'm not really asking you to answer it, but then that's what you need to think about with the next generation.
Yeah.
If you crossed it, lost it, broke it, didn't know what, maybe that's what's happening with them. So from your own experiences and from all of our experiences, this is why we should be speaking to and not holding things back from talking with our next generation now.
Yeah.
I think it's a feel about respect in it. Like, no matter what my grandparents always said to me, manners get you a long way. And no matter how bad I was on the streets, I could see one of my grandparents, sisters, I'd go carry the bag for them, I'd go say hello, or if I was smoking, I'd throw it away to get what I mean. That was respect, because I didn't want my friends to go back and tell my grandparents, you get me? So respect is a very important thing. Like, you might not have nothing in your pocket, but if you've got manners get you a long way. You might get your meal at the end of the night, you get me? So, yeah, man.
Just to throw on a little bit what you're saying about the old school, because the late 80s, early 90s, the gangs for what these kids are kind of replicating now, it was kind of started then. So when we say old school, could we were the starters of this thing? There was kind of like a hierarchy, where with the gangs, there was someone or there was a couple of top guys you could go to and say, look, I've got a problem with some of your youngers, and where these guys might say, give me this much, and then guys won't trouble you again. Or if you have a man who's messing up with somebody who's part of this crew's people, they would go and support that and say, well, these are people, you can't have him up like that. And you get a little slap. There was a hierarchy, there was an order where I'm going to open up in the next, this is Neville's show, this is his show, but we're working on our own project here at the end of the Brooklyn. And we're going to open up the second half of what you're talking about, yeah? And when we're going to look at certain things, it's like, what happened to the rulings that we used to have? What happened? I got told what happened because the police came in and took a lot of us out. So when it took a lot of us out, there was no one left to raise up these youngsters. So you got kids coming from different parts of the country coming to Manchester and coming with knives and coming with different kind of attitude. And it's kind of changed. I found out this about a year ago when I do some research in Forestfield. There was a gap. So this gap needs to be filled. It's been filled with kids raising themselves with no respect. So we talk about old school, let's try to bring that back where, look, the situation, you can have truces. This guy here, other members of his crew, me and him used to be in war. We had a truce in 1993 we had a truce. There hasn't been a bullet fire between us since then. So I know truces can work. Some of the guys that was there and in this room now, we know it can work. You have to just believe in it though. And you have to really push for peace. If you want peace, you will get it. But if you want to be a driver of a virus going on, it's not now. It's not going to stop. But really, the elder generation who's us when we see it, we need to start talking. Sort our traumas before we can go and talk to these younger youths. And you say, we can't talk to these youths if we're still suffering with our own trauma and try to handle people's picnic. You either sort yourself out as we're trying to do on a grown folk level, we sort ourselves out, then we bring the kids in the room and say, right, this is the model we've been using, go and replicate that. That's how we're going to try it. We're not going to push them on, we're going to do it slow in our time, but we need to set ourselves first. There's too many groups out there doing their own little thing. I'm sick and tired of it all from one community, which is my side. We're all from here. There was a time when we was together. Grandad already said, remember the time when the police used to knock on the door and make sure, yeah, alright, everybody in there. And if you don't answer the door, they would go in there and make sure people's alright. What happened to that? You know, I used to go to the precinct, come back past Mr. Watson's. How's your mum? How are you? All this that don't happen now. We're just trying to bring it back, but with some belief and some respect for each other before we try to go out there and do people's picking.
There's different things that you can comment on and carry on the conversation. Thank you guys, thank you so much for your